Hi everyone, welcome to Dr. Vicky Writes. I'm Vicky. Nobody actually calls me Dr. Vicky, but I do have a PhD, and in this video I will be talking about how to formulate a manageable research proposal. This video covers the second objective of the course. You can find the course syllabus in the description for this video below. Before we dive in, I want you to think about what you might already know about formulating a research proposal and about what you feel like you still need to learn, or any worries and concerns that you have around this topic. I recommend you take a minute to jot down the first few things that come to mind. First of all, you might not need to formulate a research proposal. And if that is the case, which it actually always has been for me, full disclaimer, I have never had to formulate a research proposal, then you could just skip this video. You should have found out if you need to formulate a research proposal or not when you found out, as I recommended in a previous video, how supervisors are allocated within your course. So from here on, I'm going to assume that you do have to come up with a research proposal. As I talked about previously, a great supervisor is the key to an enjoyable and a fruitful dissertation or PhD experience. Thus, if you have to come up with a research proposal before being allocated a supervisor, I recommend basing your proposal on your preferred supervisor's research areas of interest. To do this, find the last, say, 5 or 10 journal articles that they've had published. You'll usually be able to find a list of them on their staff webpage, but if not, you definitely will be able to through a database like Web of Science, Web of Knowledge, or whatever database is relevant to your subject. I'll talk more about databases in a future video. Then, once you've found those 5 to 10 articles, read through them with the following question in mind. Is there a way that I could expand this research very slightly if at dissertation level, or more substantially if at thesis level? The discussion section of a journal article is where the authors will often suggest what future studies could be done or are needed to be done in their opinion to extend the area of research. So that might be a helpful section to look at. Another option that might actually be easier is to go to your preferred supervisor and ask them if they have any ideas in mind. You could email them saying something like, "Hiya, introduce yourself here if you need to, what you're studying, etc. I need to come up with a research proposal for my dissertation or thesis and was hoping that I could do a project under your supervision. I know that your research areas of interest are blah, blah, blah. I was just wondering if we could possibly have a meeting to discuss any dissertation or thesis project ideas that you might have in mind that I could take on. Many thanks, etc., etc." I came across, when I was working on coming up with the content for this course, I came across a page by, well, a web page on Glasgow Caledonian University's website. Could have said that in a much more succinct way, I'm sure, which goes into further detail on research proposals, as well as literature reviews, which I've put the link for that page in the video description. And I recommend reading it because the specifics of like formulating a research proposal are probably too much to get into in this video. You'll notice that a big point is whether you can actually do the research you propose based on the data that's available to you, or that might be, or is likely to be available to you. So when you're looking at what your preferred supervisor has previously published, take note of the data sources that they've used, which they'll have detailed what data sources they did use in the method sections of those papers. It's likely, like, if they have access to certain data, that they might be able to get you access as well. Not necessarily, because sometimes it can be like a really difficult, long process to get access to data, but and I'm talking really about secondary data here, which is data that's already been compiled. So think about data that's stored in like a big Excel spreadsheet already that you can just go in and analyse. That's actually the only data that I've ever analysed. I've never had to gather my own data. If your preferred supervisor actually specialises in gathering data themselves, which is usually more common in qualitative subjects as opposed to quantitative, that will also become apparent by looking through their method sections of their articles. So that really covers the basics of formulating a manageable research proposal. Hopefully you don't have to, like I haven't, but in case you do. So if you have any questions about any of that, please put them in the comment section below. Or if you'd prefer, you can email me at drvicky911@gmail.com. I also encourage you to think about the following questions and do the same. Comment or email. Did I clarify anything for you? Did I address any worries or concerns that you had around this topic? Do you feel like you've learned anything new that will be of value to you? And how does what I've covered relate to your own personal situation? I'll check and respond to comments every second weekday is my aim. I might not have time to respond directly to emails, but I'll make sure I get around to reading them all and summarising them in a video or something like that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.